Greeting, dear HMC friends, and may the Lord be with you today. So my mother grew up in the Second World War in Scotland, and she spent much of her teenage years and her early adulthood facing the reality of what that war brought. And so they lived for 10 years with food rationing. Can you even begin to comprehend that today? Because if Woolworths hasn't got your latest bread, wherein it is. And so my mother's grocery cupboard through the rest of her life was a very ordered and interesting place. Because if there was a tin of jam, behind it was a spare one. And everything in her grocery cupboard had a spare. So when it came to the end of using whatever it was, the next one was waiting. Now, I'm not quite as organized as that, but I do confess that if there's a special, I might stock up on one or two things. And when I go away to see my children every year, I try to stock up the month before, the month I'm away, and the month after, just to help a little bit with the finances. But Jesus has these words to say to us in Matthew chapter 6, and reading from verse 19. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And we thank God for those words to us today. I have always been a great believer in storing and building up our faith in good times. So little things like today's devotion, maybe picking up the Bible and reading the scriptures that are mentioned, or whether it is using your faithful day living or our daily bread or whatever you may use. That in the ordinariness of life, as we build up some of our biblical knowledge, or we spend time together within a group discussing the things of God, a Bible study group or a fellowship group, or the WA, or the worship group, that in the good times that we build our faith. And maybe better than the word store. And just like we strengthen our bodies, that we strengthen our spiritual life. Because when the difficult times come, it is that strength that often we rely on. And so it is building our strength in God. There is no doubt that in difficult times, others carry us, assist us, and we know their uplifting encouragement and prayers around us. But sometimes if we have built some of our spiritual health, it will make things so much easier. It may even help us to understand a little bit more. But it is a reminder to me that our spiritual practices are so important to keep us spiritually fit, that we may face the things that happen in daily life. I'm by no means saying that God's grace won't carry us, but sometimes we can't just rely on others. And so today, I want to ask the question, are we practicing our spiritual practices and growing in Christ. That just like my mom, when something was finished, the other was right there, and we were able to depend upon it and use it. And so may God be with you today, and may even this devotion be part of a spiritual practice that strengthens you. God bless and take care.